And it does happen. And it happens in a good way. Hello, everybody. It's Skip Clark. Look at that. She's getting into it. It's Skip Happens and the Skip Happens podcast. And along with, well, I have to mention, she's not here. Deb Lamphere is not here, but along with the official CMFC, that's the Country Music Fan Club, but they do have a watch party going on their Facebook page here tonight. So welcome, everybody. And we've got a great show for you, a great podcast tonight. First time I've had a chance to actually meet this young lady. I've heard her music, and it's pretty darn awesome. And, well, we're going coast to coast tonight. She's in California. I'm in New York. And I want you all to say hi to Mira Goto. Did I say that right?
Yeah, nailed it.
I don't know why. It's such a short name, but I'm afraid I'm going to screw it up. Goto.
You wouldn't be the first one. Yeah, I always tell people it rhymes with photo.
Okay, Goto.
Yeah.
You got it. It's Mira Goto, everybody. And thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to be with us. I know this is like probably right during your dinner time, I would assume. Well, you're a couple hours behind us.
Yeah, 5:15 out here, a little early for dinner, but sun's going down. I don't know. It's like every hour is eating a snacking hour during quarantine. What can I say?
Oh, I got you. It's been dark here for a couple of hours already, but again, welcome. Describe, where are you, and describe your surroundings a little bit.
Okay. We're on my couch. Bigger picture though, I live in Santa Cruz, California, which is about an hour and a half south of San Francisco. Mm-hmm. It's a quiet little beach town. It's beautiful here. I live, a 10-minute walk to the water. So that was really nice during the intense lockdown. But we're in my living room, and this is my couch. My cat Mittens might make an appearance. She likes to pop her head in where she's not wanted.
They always do that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They always do that. So being in California, though, how often do you get to Nashville?
Okay, pre-COVID.
Right, exactly.
I did 2 weeks out there and 2 weeks out here. My husband lives and works out here. Okay. He works in tech, so Silicon Valley access is really important. You got to kind of like Nashville and country music. You got to show up to win. So That's where he's based. And so I would take trips out there every 2 weeks. And I have not been back since March, since the tornadoes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, though. This whole pandemic thing is crazy. So you've been pretty much at home the whole time. And of course, you're lucky enough to have a husband. And is he able to go to work? Is he able to actually go into Silicon Valley, or does he work out of the house?
He works out of the house, and so we see a lot more of each other, and thankfully it's going really well.
Well, they say the pandemic's brought families together.
Or it like forces your hand, right? Like
I've heard more the better. Yeah, I know. And I'm sure there's those moments where, okay, I've had enough and I need just to go for a drive or something just to get out, right?
I plead the fifth.
I know. I hear you. Well, it's the same thing here. It doesn't matter where you are. The pandemic's, it's had a lot of different effects on different people and the way we handle it and all that. But I'd love to talk to you about your music. Of course, you've got a song on the chart right now, and you just put out your EP or your album, correct?
I did, yeah. I wish I had a copy within arm's reach, but so I could hold it up for you. But it's called Nobody Warned Me. Mm-hmm. It's something we've been working on for a long, long time, and we had to push it back, just like everybody else with their projects this year. But we did finally decide to put it out this year, so I'm really, really proud.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome that you did get it out. I know the single is good, and the single Nobody Warned Me. Is that a true story? Because I was listening to it and I'm like, okay, she's a young lady. She's moving. Dad's going to give her the spray. Mom's going to give her some money. And pretty much that's like the real deal.
There's true bits in there. There's like when I went to college, my mom and dad did the pepper spray and the here, don't tell your father, here's some cash, and sweet things like that. And in fact, because I wrote this with my friend Lance Carpenter, who's amazing, and we were going down the laundry list of things that our parents warned us about when we moved out. And his list as a man is very different from my list as a woman. Mine's don't set your drink down, don't go anywhere at night alone, things like that. So that was kind of what we wanted to talk about. But no. Looks like we're live again. Am I in here by myself? Are you guys stuck with me all by myself? This is fun.
No.
Oh, hey.
No, this is weird. I'm sorry. That you know what I did? I actually kicked something with my foot and I pulled the plug out.
How very 2020 of you.
I know, very much so. Very much so. Now I just got to make sure you can hear me okay and I can hear you okay.
Totally.
Let's back it up. Where did we leave off? We were talking about you and your music, and I was asking you about the song and all that. Let's just pick it up from there. Yeah, skip happens. Yes, see? Bam. Thanks, Joe. I needed that. Absolutely. Do you know Joe?
I haven't had the pleasure.
No, I don't either. But he
Nice.
put skip happens, so that's cool. Hi, Joe. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Broseph.
I just want to try one thing here. Okay, you can hear me loud and clear. Just I'm hearing you through the other speakers, but that's all right. We'll make it work. So,
Okay.
All right. So continue on, Miss
Oh, I
Mira.
was just saying that, you know, for the music video, the song sings about a blue-eyed, blonde-haired cowboy that this girl falls in love with. And I have a Japanese Canadian husband who I love very much, but I remember the day I was like, honey, I need to hire an actor to play my boyfriend. And so my director and I, you know, female as well, she brought this catalog of all these handsome men, and we're flipping through it on the table, and he's like, all right, well, don't have too much fun, you know. So
I love it. It's part of like being an actress or an actor. I mean, you're doing the video and all that. And the reason I say that was on the podcast here, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, I talked to Pat Boone. And Pat Boone was telling me that way early on in the making of some movies, he wouldn't kiss the actress because without asking his wife permission first. You know, it's almost like those same, I can't do this. I've got to go talk to Shirley before I, so it was just kind of a funny story. And Pat Boone, of course, this guy's like almost 87 years old and he's still making movies. He's still singing and still doing all that, but very deep in his faith and his beliefs. So that's, that story was kind of cool. So
it's a courtesy thing, and I guess we had some boundaries, and he was like, well, are you going to kiss him? And I was like, well, I don't want to, but what if the scene caught, he's like, well, okay, but, just be respectful and everybody will be there, right? It's not like you're going to be kissing him by yourself. Yeah, it's called supervision. And so,
that's so cool.
I'm not an actress, it's a little bit weirder, I think.
Yeah, but you are an actress. I mean, you're a singer, you're a songwriter, but when you make the videos, you're an actress. Think about it.
And, sometimes I think about it like that too when I'm writing. Sometimes I'm writing these story songs that are just completely made up stories, or sometimes I'm writing them based on true events, and we're
right.
not letting the truth get in the way of a good song, right? So we become the character so that we can write from a first. So there's a little bit of that in there too, but it's it's fun.
No, it is fun. How hard was it to make a video during the pandemic?
That's a good question. We had a whole nother video that we were going to shoot, and then we just thought outside would be better. Outside would be better, and me by myself, and if we have anybody else, they'll be over there and I'll be over here. And so when that was what we shot, was the Anybody Else music video in July. And in between takes, it was masks on for me, and the whole crew had their masks on. So given the concept of the video where I'm going on a run by myself and I'm passing these people 6 feet apart, that I guess like that concept was totally doable. But but the other video that we were gonna shoot that we may someday, inside too many people, it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, well, maybe all these things happen for a reason, for whatever reason. We don't know, but we'll figure it out. So
I'm very proud of the video we got to make. So it's not the end of the world.
Are you do you work out a lot? I mean, we were talking about, I saw a picture of you at the gym and pulling up on the bars, but you were just talking about running and all that. Are you very, I don't know, do you work out every day? Are you very athletic or?
I like to think that I'm pretty athletic. I think I let a lot of it slip, as most of us did during the pandemic, since gyms are closed. I lately have been feeling like, I don't know how to explain it. You have this really high of like, oh, my album's coming out. Oh, my song's on the radio.
Mhm.
This new video coming out. And then it comes out and I'm like, oh, that's right. I can't tour. I like don't have anything new coming up. I have no motivation to write. I'm just kind of got the quarantine blues a little bit. So I'm trying to do more things that make me happy. And exercise is one of those things. And so I'm trying to get back into
Yeah. You know what'll make you feel good? I mean, you said you had a cat. Animals really make you feel good. All right. If you just need some time, just put the cat on your lap, or in my situation, I go and hang out with the dogs and just kind of, it just makes you relax a little bit. I mean, it just makes you feel good. And it's very hard to feel good nowadays because there's, nobody knows what's going on. I mean, you got the politics, you've got the pandemic, you've got, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
All angles.
Yeah.
All angles, it's hard. But yeah, no, the animal thing is really nice. We have a joke in our house that Mittens, our cat, she likes to put it right in your eyeballs. You lay down, she's like, oh yeah, okay, this is my spot right here.
Is that how she wakes you up? She jumps up on your bed and is like, get off my,
She did for a long time, and we eventually had to kick her out of the bedroom when we're sleeping.
Exactly.
You get the paw right in the face,
I love it.
What are your dogs' names?
We have Miley. And we have Nike.
Nike
is I love it that you asked a question. I love it when the guest asks questions, by the way. So just throw them at me and I'll throw my questions at you. It just makes for a great conversation. We have Miley, who's a yellow lab named after Miley Cyrus. My son named her, and she's 12 years old now. We got Nike, who is, I don't know if I got this right, part boxer and black nose cur. Or I think it's a weird mix, but just a very well-trained dog, came from Texas. Whoever took him in before he came north to New York from Texas, really did a lot of work with him. He was house trained. He doesn't he doesn't jump and take scraps off the table. He doesn't do anything like that. Tell him to sit, he sits. You tell him to lay down, he'll lay down. That's the way he came. And he's only 4 years old. So it's, between the two of them, it's a riot to watch. They get along great. They play tug of war. They do all that stuff. So they don't fight at all. Just,
really sweet. I had a yellow lab growing up too. His name was Gus, and I just love labs, and I always was like, I think I want a boxer someday. So you got the dream team.
You never know. Nike was a boxer though. It's just, the only way I know is it's on the paperwork. That's all that is, part mix. But he's a hunting dog. He loves to get out in the backyard, chase the squirrels and the chipmunks and the rabbits, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Does he go for skunks?
Funny that you said that.
Everyone got skunks.
Nike, but Miley did. Miley, I want to say it was last summer. There was a skunk in the backyard. Miley went out to do her business before we went to bed and had a little mishap with the skunk. And it was pretty gross, pretty disgusting. It was, we did the tomato juice on her. My wife had to go to Walmart to get some de-skunking stuff. And it was just, and the whole house stunk, mind you. When you think you've got the dog cleaned, and we did that outside, forget it. You smell it for a week.
Yeah.
It's just it's that odor that's always there. But you know what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And
every pet gets them. Our cat she learned a tough lesson.
Yeah.
With the skunk too. Yeah. And the skunk, they warn you. They let you
know. See that tail go up. Look out.
And then Mittens still felt like it was important to just slap her, and she got what was coming. And then she had to have a bath, which,
Yeah. How do you give a cat a bath? They don't like water.
Yeah. It resulted in some blood donations. And you could smell it on her for a couple weeks,
exactly.
Fact, but
one thing my wife did, she took, I think it's apple vinegar, and put it in little cups and put it on the counter, put it on the table. It takes the odor out of the air.
Oh, that's smart.
I think it might have been apple vinegar. I'm not really sure. Of course, I could ask her, she would know. I'm just being a guy, and it's like, she used that stuff. So,
That's smart.
Yeah.
Well, I like skunks. I think they're super cute, but they don't smell that great.
How did we got on the subject of talking about pets, and we're supposed to be talking about your music and the EP that just came out and the song that's climbing the charts, and you as Mira Goto just becoming now a household name, and it's so awesome. That's what we're supposed to be talking about, you know.
Well, okay, we can segue. Let's see, how do I make this?
I know, I'm trying to think. I'm the radio guy. I should know how to kind of, but this is a tough one. I don't know.
So one of the first songs that I put out is a song that I wrote called Crazy Cat Lady. I wrote
Segue, by the way.
Because I am the cat lady, right? I've got
exactly.
a cat. And it got picked up by the local radio station out here, K-Pig. And then other stations across the country started playing it. And so that was my first go at radio. And my second go at radio was with the Nobody Warned Me, the title track.
God, that's such a great song too. That's such a great song. What did you what was your, when you first heard your song on the radio, what was that like?
Oh, dream come true.
Yeah. You just
Dream
like,
come true. It's amazing. I think the first one that I heard on the radio that I caught on video, because I didn't think about it. It was the cat song was the first one I heard on
right.
the radio. But then I have one of the songs on the EP is called Next Life. It's a duet that I sang with Mark Broussard.
Yes, I'd listen to it. It's awesome.
Thank you. I remember, let's see, we had gone surfing that morning. And so we're in our like wetsuits, and I put a sweatshirt on over and all, fluffy, and driving back to the house. And it just came on, and I thought nothing of it because I listened to mixes on the car radio all the time.
Sure.
And it came on, and my husband goes, oh, "What's that?" And what do you mean? Like, it's my song. But it didn't like compute that it was on the radio station, and so that was unbelievable. And then I thought to turn on my video camera and capture that. And
wow, hang on to that. That's so cool. You can put it like, look back on it someday and say, this is, when it was first, one of my songs was first played on the radio.
Yeah. I still get that same butterfly feeling in that. Every time like a new song is played on the radio. In fact, just like 2 weeks ago, one of the newer songs on the EP is called Tequila Told Me To.
I saw it on the list. Yes.
That one was played. It was like 8 a.m. and it came on, and I was like, all right, it's not too early for tequila out here. Here we go.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Tequila Told Me. I love that. How'd you come up with that title?
Oh, I always knew I wanted to write a song called Tequila Told Me To. That's my drink of choice. That's like the band and we're getting ready to take the stage, and we're like going to do, a band shot. It's like, it's like a bonding thing, loosens everybody up.
Seen it a million times. Yep.
It's tequila for me every time. And so that's my drink of choice. But tequila, I noticed that anytime I suggest it, there's always someone who's like, oh, can't do it. Can't do tequila. And I'm like, all right, I know you got a story. And so I would hear all these tequila stories. Mm-hmm. Everyone's story is the same. Everyone's got the same tequila story. And so I thought, well, why don't I just write the tequila story?
Well, Joe Nichols, what he had
tequila makes your clothes fall off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
That's tequila. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I love that. I didn't listen to that, but I did listen to a lot, whether it was on YouTube or, I think I listened to them all on YouTube before you came on here tonight with me, everything that I could. And just your style and just the way you go about it. It's just, I can't say this enough. It's pretty awesome. Tell us about your songwriting a little bit, Mira.
Well, let's see. What can I tell you?
Where's the best place for you to write? Do you like to be alone?
I like to start songs alone. I very much enjoy doing that. I find that since I'm writing songs for me with other songwriters, it's my responsibility to come up with the stories that I want to tell and bring them to the songwriters that I think like, okay, I have this one friend who like loves writing sad songs. So if I have a sad story, I start it and I kind of get it mapped out. Mm-hmm. And then I bring it and I go, will you help me write this and tell this story the way that I want to tell it? And then they just breathe life into it. Same with funny songs or story songs or the upbeat, like the tequila song. I brought it to my producer and pop friends out here, and I told them, they're like, oh, you've never written country before. And I said, you don't have to countrify it. Don't worry. Just think Katy Perry in cowboy boots.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the way it's going anyways, right?
Yeah.
What's happening? Think about it.
I am a huge Katy Perry fan. So if we can come up with something that's half as good as hers, then I'm a happy woman.
Did she have the baby?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. And I remember on Idol when Lane Hardy was on, and Katie was just head over heels for Lane Hardy. And that's when you say it's Katy Perry in cowboy boots. It's when I think of that episode. So it's kind of crazy. So pretty cool stuff. So I mean, do you ever do any Zoom rights, or do you get because of the pandemic that's going on, everybody kind of goes on and y'all come together like on a Zoom meeting and kind of throw different things out?
Yeah, I do. I tried doing writing with 3 people, and we found it was just too many voices over each other at the same time, or people would try to talk over each other. And so I'm more comfortable with 2 now, but I do find that I burn out a lot quicker on Zoom than I do in person. In person, we can get up, walk around, go make a sandwich, keep talking about it in the other rooms of the house. But over Zoom, I'm 3 hours is the most I can handle looking at a computer.
Yeah. It's very, it does take a lot out of you. There's no doubt. We do it all day in our jobs. And I know at the radio station, just looking at a computer all day, it's like, oh, you get that. You just got to get up and walk away for a little bit. So.
Yeah, I definitely now will get up and walk around, and I'm like, I'm still here, but I'm just pacing, and that's fine. But it's hard. I miss a lot of things, as I'm sure you do as well. But that's definitely a challenge that I haven't yet figured out how to a hurdle I haven't been able to overcome.
I've talked to Deb and I, when she's with me, we've talked to a lot of artists that do a lot of writing, and what they say is they do a lot over Zoom, but you can't compare that to when you're sitting in the same room, when you can feel the warmth of somebody else being there, or the body language of somebody, or kind of just bringing it all together that way. Zoom, you don't have that connection. It's just you're looking at a picture and you're talking, but when you're in a room, you can see the body language and you can almost see what maybe the co-writers or the other writers are thinking. So
body language is a huge part of it. That's I'm glad that you said that, because that's definitely a big part. It's it's reading the energy there, but also the sound on these cut over each other, so we can't all talk at the same time, which happens all the time. And it's great, because if somebody says something, it triggers something else, and so on and so forth. But if you miss things all the time, so it's hard. But yeah, I like to, especially now, write by myself and then take that little packaged idea and hurl it at somebody and hope that they go, oh, I want to make that this.
That's cool. That's cool. And being a songwriter, I mean, that's the part that a lot of people don't realize. They hear the artist, but they never realize what goes in to get to the point where the artist is singing it. I mean, it's all the songwriters. It's people. Yeah, I mean, you get together with others, and sure, you may be the artist, but there's still a lot behind you, the writing of the song and all that a lot of listeners don't realize. They think, okay, it's Mira Goto, she did the whole thing, but really, usually it's a lot of people.
I am standing on a lot of shoulders doing what I do, and I'm very lucky that the people whose shoulders I am standing on are standing very tall and very proud for me. So there's no way I could do it without any of them.
I to change it up here a little bit, when I was doing some research, knowing that I was going to be chatting with you tonight, I happened to see you standing in the back of a pickup truck, playing your guitar. And then what was it? Parties to Go or Music to Go? I forgot what it said, but I'm going, that's a great idea. Look at her. She's kind of taken her talent. We're in a pandemic. You don't have the gigs, but yet if somebody's having a small backyard get together, you could show up and still be in the back of a pickup truck up in the driveway or up on the road and play a few songs, make a little money, and then you go about your business.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you saw that. I called them mobile concerts.
That's what it was. Mobile concerts. Yes, I had a brain fart, but yeah.
No, it's fine. There's a lot of things they could have called it, and that was it. But it's and it evolved from the front porch concert, right? Because I thought, well, why don't I just play on my front porch every, month or so? And then I was like, well, I don't know if I want people coming to my house. It's not like I have a huge lawn in the front yard either. It's California. We all got drought yards now.
Right.
So I thought, why don't we mobilize this thing? If I have like a stage that I can move around, then I can take it to where you want me. And I was playing graduations because that was a big one, and lots of milestone birthdays, a couple of anniversaries, and just then a couple neighborhood nights that were like, we just need a break, we need something different. So
that's cool that you did that. I can speak for something that I did. Even though this isn't about me, this entire thing's supposed to be about you, but still, during this pandemic and during the summer when nobody could do anything, I actually set up a whole like DJ system in my front yard. And I went out there and I just cranked the tunes for a couple of hours. I mean, I cranked it. It was loud. Everybody was coming out of their homes and they were dancing in their driveways. Everybody was like at least waving to other people and yelling to other people. People were driving by going, this is, like, thank you so much for doing this. So it's almost along the same lines, except I just, I did it for my neighborhood. We're in a neighborhood that's only got a couple of streets and it's closed off. So, but it's something we needed.
That's really cool. And I could see that being like contagious, the happiness, the joy of people just going like, it's different. And you forget for a minute that things are so limited and you get to come outside and just hang out on your porch. And yeah, I wish we were neighbors.
As a matter of fact, one of the my neighbors, Maria, just popped down here and said, she's talking about you, that you're a sweetheart. But she was one of them that's like they were dancing in their front yard and everything. She's one of my neighbors. But it's very, very cool. Good stuff. You have the guitar right there with you.
I sure do.
Are you planning on playing a song? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'd be more than happy to.
I'd love to hear something, to be honest with you. I am so impressed with you. I love your attitude. Your EP, as I mentioned already. And before we get done here tonight, I want to make sure that everybody knows where they can get their hands on that. And we'll take it from there. But what can you play for us?
I can play anything you want.
Yeah.
Why don't I play the title track?
Okay. That would be really awesome. It's Mira Goto, everybody. And Mira is in Santa Cruz, California. And of course, I'm in New York. So I love saying this. We're coast to coast.
Yeah, by coastal here. This is how we tour.
Yep, this is it. This is it. What else are we going to do? Thank God we have the technology. Think about it.
Could you imagine if
this wouldn't be happening?
Yeah, could you imagine if this happened 30 years ago?
Oh my God, people like you, where would you be? Seriously.
Well, I would have been a tot. But
I know. But think about it. 20 years ago, we didn't have this.
Yeah, it's crazy. We are lucky in a way that it's happening now, and that we can figure out how to work from home and all this stuff. There's some silver lines, thin as they may be.
All right, Mira Goto, everybody. Let's see what she has.
So this song's called Nobody Warned Me. This is the title track off my EP. This is the one with the music video that I had to hire an actor instead of use my husband, which is he loves telling that story.
Is he standing over there?
I'm sorry?
Is your husband like looking at you?
He's working in his office.
Oh, okay. I see you kind of glance over to the side, so he's probably over there laughing. That's why I was wondering.
For all I know, he's watching this in his in his home office, and he's getting ready to.
I love it. All right, let's do it.
All right. The song's called Nobody Warned Me. They tried to talk me out of leaving, but my heart made up its mind. So they warned me about the dangers of taking on a 3-day drive. They warned me about weather, about the tornadoes. Now the summer sure gets hot, and the winter's twice as cold. Daddy gave me a can of pepper spray, said it's best to be prepared. And Mama slipped me a little money, said this ought to get you there. They warned me about strangers, about living on my own, about ups and downs, the sights and sounds, and 1,000 do's and don'ts, but not about blue eyes, and not about a southern drawl, not about opening up doors, no, none of that at all. Stay away from bad boys and dirty old cowboy boots. They try to warn me, but nobody warns me about you. And I did not see you coming. Talk about a sweet surprise. These feelings that I'm feeling are ones that I don't want to fight. You waltzed right in, just one smile, swept me off my feet. I was warned about the bad things that this town might do to me, but not about blue eyes, and not about a southern drawl, not about opening up doors or how fast my heart could fall. And stay away from bad boys and dirty old cowboy boots. They try to warn me, but nobody warns me about driving your truck or that long jump out, about a moonshine buzz and all those late nights at your house. It's only been a couple months, but this feels like home. Yeah, they warned me that might happen, but they did not know it'd be about blue eyes, about a southern drawl, how you open up my door and how fast my heart could fall. And stay away from bad boys and dirty old cowboy boots. They try to warn me, but nobody warns me. They try to warn me, but nobody warns me about you.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. That's awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the title track off the EP. If somebody wanted to get a hold of your music, they can go online. Where can they do that?
Well, my music is available anywhere digitally that music is sold or streamed. But if you would like a physical copy of the CD, I have them for sale on my website, which is miragoto.com. That's MIRAGOTO.com.
Simple as that. You got merch on there too?
Oh, yeah. Got all the good stuff. Just got the sweatshirts up in time for Christmas. Very excited about finally having sweatshirts. It's such a silly dream, but I've always dreamed of having sweatshirts.
I mean, you can't go wrong with a good. Are they hoodies or are they just sweatshirts?
Hoodies, but zippies.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Especially here in the Northeast, it gets really, really although it's been nice the last week or so, but normally by this time it's 30 degrees and we have snow. But right now it's hasn't happened yet, knock on wood. So
we get anytime it gets below 60 degrees out here, we get the hoodies out, we get the Uggs out, we get the pumpkin spice lattes out. And so, the hoodies are it's hoodie season. It's 55 degrees.
Yeah, well, it gets 16 here. We may have the pumpkin spice, but we're putting our shorts on and our t-shirts.
Wouldn't even dream of shorts until 75.
How do you you've been in California all your life, pretty much, right? Well, yeah, you were born and raised there. What's it like to be in California and so close to where everything is happening? What's the life like? What is it? A lot of hustle and bustle?
Yes, in a way. Let me tell you this though. My husband's Canadian. When he first brought me to Toronto to visit his family, to meet his family for the first time, he's like, just pack scarves. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I got a scarf. I have one of those thin fashion scarves with sparkles on it,
Okay.
I had jeans and I had Ugg boots and it was minus 18. And I almost broke up with him because I'm like, you let me go into the snow in my jeans? Are you kidding? So I have since upgraded my wardrobe. I didn't own clothing that was like appropriate for that weather.
Right. Well, you didn't expect that. You had no idea, but he tried to warn you. I mean,
I'd say nobody warned me, right?
Right, exactly. I can tell you my one of my first dates with my wife was in Toronto. We went to Toronto. We went to the Pantages Theater. We saw oh my gosh, I just had another brain fart tonight. But anyways, we ended up going out to dinner. We spent the night up there. It was just so beautiful. And the snow was falling, but we're used to it though. We dress for it. We drive in it, you know. But
I'm allergic to snow.
I don't know.
What part of New York are you in?
Syracuse.
Okay, so you're up there. It's chilly up there.
Yeah, we're in upstate New York. I know when people talk about New York, Mira, they think of New York City.
Yeah.
When somebody says, right, and then somebody says, or if I say, well, they'll say, what part of New York? And I'll go upstate, and they'll go, oh, like Poughkeepsie, which is just north of New York City. No, we're upstate New York. We're at the crossroads of New York State. Right in the heart. We're right in the middle. You go one way, you go to Buffalo, you go the other way, you go to Albany. You
might actually be further north than Toronto.
No. But close. I know what you're thinking. And it'll take us a few hours to drive to Toronto, but it's not a bad drive.
When we go to Toronto, we fly into Buffalo, and then it's like.
And do you see? Yep, exactly. I could drive to Buffalo and then go right across there. Well, now we can't go across the border because of the pandemic. But yeah, that's the way we would go. And you've seen Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah, we got married there actually.
No way! That's beautiful. Yeah. That's awesome.
That was nice. It was just a private thing, and then we went to Vegas a week later and partied with everybody.
There you go. That's the way to do it. I know my wife and I got married in St. Thomas, and we just a private little thing. And when we got back, we threw a party.
Totally. That's the way to do it. And there you go. Your tequila story is born.
Yeah, well, there you go. Exactly. It was awesome.
As far as California goes, living here, obviously you grow up in your environment and you don't think anything of it. That's just what normal is to you. And then, I moved away. I went to different cities for colleges within California, but I'm like, San Luis Obispo, which is a sleepy town with no major.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yep.
Yeah. And then I went to Santa Barbara for a bit, and again, really beautiful town, but no major airport. You have to drive anywhere. And I lived in San Diego for a while, which major airport, but huge. And I remember going to San Diego and thinking, where's all the trees?
San Diego is a beautiful city. I know. You're right. You're right about the trees.
Yeah.
I've been to San Diego. I visited the San Diego Zoo, which I'll always forget. My wife actually had a meeting out there, so I flew out and met her out there, and we did, we went to the zoo and we did all that tourist stuff. So
they've got a lot of fun and really well done tourist stuff in San Diego.
Yeah, very cool. Now let's talk about Nashville. Obviously, you haven't been there because of the pandemic, but do you have a place in Nashville or no?
Yeah, and I can see on the camera that it's still standing, but that's about all I know. I have my doubts that the car will start.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go out next week. It's my first time. I got my mask upgrade, I got my gloves, and it's my first time on a plane in 8 months, Yeah,
you got to get your mask. And now it's more than just a mask. The mask has become a way of life. So there's like custom designed mask with all the, I don't know what yours looks like, but they have all the different designs on them now. It's part of your wardrobe.
I know, it's got to match. I've got one for each purse, one for each car.
Somehow I think you're telling me the truth.
I do with you. They give them out as like party favors at some of the mobile concerts I've been playing. I've been getting, really? Yeah, it's part of the good stuff. Yeah.
You have them that, do you have any like with your name on it at all or anything like on your merch?
No? I don't have Mira Goto masks. I have a leopard one. I like that one.
I love it. I'm going to ask you, can we get one more tune out of you?
Absolutely.
That other one was great. I know Joseph was asking for the tequila song. I don't know if you can do that or not.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's funny. I can see, on the back end, on the artist end of things, we can see where our music's being streamed. What we can see what countries are playing your songs the most by individual song and what cities and everything. And I can tell you that my tequila song is killing it in Belgium.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever played over there?
I have not played in Belgium. I played in Ireland.
Okay.
But I've been to Belgium on vacation.
Yeah, because I hear that our country music, as we know it, is huge, like in Ireland or that part of the world. So
I learned that when I was over there, and I was going to play this country songwriters festival, and I was telling people, that as we're traveling, we meet the bartenders. What brings you here? Oh, I'm a country singer. Oh, I love country. Well, country music evolved from Irish folk music. So they love it. They love it. It's crazy.
A lot of people don't realize that.
So. I know. I love it over there, and I miss it terribly. Had plans to go this summer, but canceled.
A friend of mine, she's an artist. She plays over there quite a bit. Every year they go on tour in Europe, and the crowds are just phenomenal, she says. And it's, they love the country music and all that, but she was heartbroken when all this, they couldn't do it this year. They've done it every year for so many years. And I know when I talked to her, she was actually in tears that they couldn't go on tour and couldn't go to Europe. So
it's devastating, all the things that we can't do and things we were looking forward to that disappeared overnight. But we will play again. We will hug again. We will do all of these things again someday.
Absolutely. Just be patient and keep your head up. All right, let's see it. Let's hear it. I can see it. Let's hear it.
We call it the tequila song, but the actual title of this is called Tequila Told Me To.
Okay. Mira Goto, everybody.
It was only supposed to be dinner, but someone bought around. I didn't want to be rude. I guess I could have turned it down. Well, one turned into a double makes four. Next thing you know, I'm tearing up the dance floor. No sense in holding back now. I was in the zone with Patron selfies on my iPhone. I'm looking for a lampshade, picking friends, join the band, post it all on Instagram. Kinda crazy for a Monday. Oh no, what did I do? Tequila told me to. Oh no, what did I do? Tequila told me to. I guess I made it home. I woke up in my shoes. I got a number on my arm. My key's still in the door. Is this a new tattoo? Well, I should know better. It's happened before. Last thing I remember is tearing up the dance floor. It's coming back in pieces. I was in the zone with the drone selfies on my iPhone. I'm looking for a lampshade, picking friends, join the band, post it all on Instagram. Kinda crazy for a Monday. Oh no, what did I do? Tequila told me to. Oh no, what did I do? Tequila told me to call an ex and start a fight. Forget everything that I did last night. It was only supposed to be dinner, but someone bought around. In my zone with Patron selfies on my iPhone. I'm looking for a lampshade, picking friends, join the band, post it all on Instagram. Kinda crazy for a Monday. Oh no, what did I do? told me to. Oh no, what did I do? Tequila, tequila told me to. Oh no, what did I do? Tequila, tequila told me to. Oh no, what did I do? Tequila, tequila told me to.
I can relate. I can relate. Yep. Been there, done that.
Even if you don't have a tequila story, you're lying.
Exactly. Don't even try to tell us you don't, because we know you do, one way or another. Mira, you are awesome, girl. You just
Back at them.
I'm so glad that we got hooked up to do this. And your people, the people I talk to every week, and they said, you got to get Mira on. You got to get Mira on your podcast. And I said, okay, let's do it. So I'm so glad this worked out. And I love your attitude. I love your voice. I love everything about you.
Thank you. You're so easy to talk to, and I really appreciate that as somebody who does a lot of interviews. So thank you very much for making this super easy for me.
I don't consider, when I do the interviews, let me just, from somebody, I've been doing the radio thing a long time, and I started the podcast thing, I want to say a year ago, April. We've slowly been getting into it. We usually talk to 2 or 3 artists a week. Some are the newbies, some are the well-established. But when I do an interview, it's just about talking. It's just about finding out who you are. And I love it, as I said earlier, that if the guest would ask questions about me too, and it makes for a two-way conversation. You're a pro. You're a pro at doing that. And I can tell you've done this before. It's just, that's the way to do it. And I don't do a lot of homework. I'll glance at the website. I'll see who you are a little bit, just kind of, and then I take, the minute I say hello, then I just take it from there. Just like, there you are, here I am. Nice to meet you. Now tell me about you. And I'll tell you about me.
This is great. This is a great format. It's super comfortable. And so, you got a good thing going for you here, and I appreciate it. I'd love to come back sometime.
That's very kind of you to say. And that's the whole idea. It's not, I don't like the formal stuff. I just want to be one-on-one and just have a conversation. So, and I want to, people that are viewing this or people that listen to this later on to know that the artists that I talk to, the artists like yourself, you're real people. You have a job. This is what you do. You're living your dream. You've got a passion and dedication for what you do. I've got a passion and dedication for what I do. These are just our jobs, and this is what we do. We're real people. We eat just like everybody else. We go to the grocery store just like everybody else. We go to work every day. Well, for the most part, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So before I say goodbye, I'd like to ask you a few questions, and if you don't want to answer them, that is completely fine. But I have a list of podcast fun questions, and there's 25 of them. And I usually ask my guests to give me a number between 1 and 25, and I'll ask the question that's next to that number.
All right. I'm not afraid of you.
You might have a different opinion when we get done with this, but no. Okay. Go ahead. Between 1 and 25.
Okay. Let's go with 5.
5. Most important quality to look forward to. Oh, yeah. Do another one. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to do that one.
Let's go 11.
11. Are you usually late or early?
Early.
Okay, good.
Yeah, definitely early. My one of my parents was late to everything and made me late to everything growing up, and so now I have this fear of being late. So I'm annoyingly early.
I'm always late. Okay, between 1 and 25 again.
Okay, 16.
What's the first word that comes to mind? Right now, what's the first word that comes to mind?
Popsicle.
What flavor?
Lime.
Lime. I'm a strawberry guy. Right. I'm big on strawberry. All right, let's do just a couple more. Another number.
How about 3?
Do you have a sports team?
Yes, I do have a sports team.
Who is it?
San Francisco Giants, baseball.
Okay, and who's their rival?
The Dodgers.
All right, what's the best way to provoke a Dodgers fan?
Well, okay, they won the World Series this year, and I'm very happy for them. But if you bring up the World Series where they lost to the Astros, I think that's a pretty good one.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Feels like 30 though.
Yeah, that was a great. Did you watch the series then?
Yeah, I'm a big baseball fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
Can and I don't mean to keep this conversation going, really long because I know you're very, very busy, but we're huge baseball fans.
Okay.
And we have a team here in Syracuse called now they're the Syracuse Mets. The New York Mets are our parent club. We're the AAA. We're the one level below the majors. So we see a lot of the players that go up and down. They may be down on rehab, and all that. Up until this past year, we were the Nationals farm team, Washington Nationals.
Oh, interesting.
And the room that I'm doing this podcast from, I call it my pod zone. This is a really cool studio now, but a lot of the Washington Nationals players have stayed right in this room. And we used to house the players when they were in town.
That's so cool.
So we've had, it's a little crazy, but it's so much fun because you get to know them, you get to know their families, you become family. We've kept in touch with a lot of them. They won the World Series. A couple of the guys that stayed in this room played in the World Series. It's just, and Patrick Corbin, who's a pitcher for the Nationals, he only lives a couple of blocks from here, or his parents do now, which is pretty cool.
That's so cool. You must have had some really fun conversations with some of those players. I know that in the minors, they're really not paid very much. And so it's awesome that you get to put them up so they can save money on hotels and travel.
Exactly. And we did that for a whole lot of years up until just, when I started the podcast and we stopped doing it. But we have maintained a great friendship. We go to visit at spring training every year. We go to dinner with them at spring training. We were there in March, just before this whole pandemic happened. We went to the Astros game and it was crazy nuts. And if you being a baseball fan, you would have gone nuts because, everything that they went through and the cheering and the names that they were being called from the fans that were in the stands and everything. I recorded it on my phone. And I still have it. It's crazy. If I had known, I would have plugged it into the system and played it for you. But I also have, wait a minute, let me see.
Is your spring training, because I go to Scottsdale for our spring training, is yours in Myrtle Beach?
Nope, ours is in West Palm.
Okay.
Or Port St. Lucie. They're very close to each other. We did when a friend of ours, my son was actually in one of their weddings and he got married in Vegas. But he got traded to the Indians, and their spring training was in Arizona, and we flew out there and spent time out there. But now I've got two baseballs. One's minor league and one's major league, and I do that. Well, you can't see it. I wish I had a better camera. There's a difference. I never knew there would be a difference between baseballs.
Me neither.
But you probably can't see it on the camera. This one is a minor league ball. This one is a major league ball. There is a difference. I had no idea until we had one of the pitchers stay with us. And then he said, Skip, now here's the baseballs. Here's the deal. This is what's different. The stitching is tighter on a major league ball than it is on a minor league ball. The stitching next time, and like this, you can't see it, but it says Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
It says International League, which is the minor league ball.
Yeah.
But the stitching on the major league ball is tighter. So that's why. And if you go to I'm sorry, I'm going to bore you.
No, I'm so into this. I want to ask you if you caught those or if somebody gave them to you at one of your fouls.
We have, first of all, let me tell you, the Major League Baseball's got the tighter stitching. And when they have a pitcher down on rehab in the minor league, he can't pitch with the minor league ball. So they always take out a bucket of Major League Baseballs. He has to use a Major League ball. But the pitchers in the minor league will pitch with the minor league ball until they get called up or they're in the majors. So
that's I had no idea.
My son, Zach, is Down syndrome. Zach, he's 19, soon to be 20 this month. He is the biggest baseball fan you would ever come across. And the players love him. And when we house the players here, we have parties in the backyard. the team would be in the backyard. I've had World Series players in my backyard. Nobody even, it's like nobody even knows, and it's crazy. But he's probably got 300 baseballs in his room. No exaggeration. Yep.
That's amazing. So, how does a girl get an invitation to your next World Series party?
You come through on if you're ever in the Northeast, I promise you, if you go on the radio tour type of thing, or you're in the area in the Northeast, if you and your husband are ever in this area or whatever you're doing for whatever reason, you look me up. If it's during the summer, I'll get you hooked up for a baseball game. All right, I promise. And we'll come over. We'll do a podcast. I'll show you my son's room, because every baseball player that has come through this house has signed his wall.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So it's up in his room. It is amazing. It is amazing. And he can tell you, he's, as far as we can, ever since he's been going to baseball games ever since he was born. It's probably only missed a dozen games his whole life except for this past year when the season got canceled.
Yeah.
They love him. They I forgot where I was going with this, but anyways, it's just you come through, we'll get you hooked up. It'll be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Okay. And if you get bored, if you go on Facebook, if you look under Zach Motondo, you'll see the pictures. You'll see him on Facebook. I'll send you a link and you can see all the stuff. It's pretty cool. You come through, we'll get you all hooked up.
When the Giants play the Mets, we'll have to go to a game. Are you like a Mets, or is it your own line?
Well, we go with the Nationals and we go with the Mets.
Okay.
Because we have friends that are, with the Nationals still. And the Mets now are our parent club. And they've been here 1 year. We made friends, like Tim Tebow. Just the greatest guy you'll ever want to talk to, hang with. He wants to play baseball. He's a football player, but
I know, crazy.
He's just living his dream. He's always wanted to play baseball, so he's giving it a shot. He's had a tough season, but I got to tell you, he's the greatest guy you'll ever want to talk to. He's very deep in his faith, obviously. He kids with disabilities. He went to my son's Challenger baseball game. And when they saw Tim Tebow there, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So,
it sounds like your son and I would have a lot to talk about.
Basically. Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. All right, let's do one more question. Give me a number.
Okay, 25.
What's the name of this podcast?
Skip Heaven.
That's the question. It's right here. All right, Mira Goto, you've been awesome, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to just drag on talking like that. If Dale was on with me, she'd be yelling at me. Stop.
I'll talk shop with you anytime.
But really? I'll have to send you some stuff, and you can see the baseball stuff that my son has. It's unbelievable. So
baseball pictures and dog pictures.
Okay, you got it. It. Mira Goto, your website is what? Once again?
MiraGoto.com, MiraGoto.com.
Yep, and you can get the music and get the merch. And I can't stress the merch enough, because during this time, the artists like Mira and others, they pretty much count on that, because they don't have the gigs. They don't have the income. They're not on tour. They're sitting on couches, just like she is right now, with that look on her face. See?
Get yourself a sweatshirt. Become one of my walking billboards.
There you go. Absolutely. Mira, you're awesome. I'm going to click off, but I want you to hold on for 1 second. I want to ask you something off the air. All right, Mira, you're awesome. Thank you. Here we go.